Okay, the idea of this movie is to make a ring shank that has a twisting snake that goes around it. So here we go. Start out with a finger rail, and I'm going to go ahead and put some profiles on it. So I like, well, let's put this in, Bink. And I like this profile for this one. Kind of reminds me of a snake a little bit, but obviously we could use whatever we want. At the top, I'm going to do 3 millimeters by 5. So we'll put that one up at 180 there and click to keep that one. And then we'll slide on down to 360, and we'll make this 1.8 high by 3 wide. That should work. We'll click out there, and I'm just going to let those sit there. Okay. Next, I want to get another rail coming up out here, another finger rail. So I'm going to go to Curve and go to Offset. And 1.8 is my distance. So I'm out where the bottom profile meets that. We'll put that one on the rail layer. And I'm going to turn on the edit points. And I'm going to grab those 3 edit points and move them up so it's kind of on the outside of that, like so. Okay, so then I hit escape and those edit points go away. Next I'm going to go ahead and split this. So split with a point, and I'm going to split right here and right here, and throw away one side of it because I'm only going to go around and do half of this. Okay, at this point I want to have the snake wrap around this thing, coil around it. So we're going to go over to Curves and then Helix. And in Helix, Helix of course makes a spring, okay? And if you just click, click, and then move, it'll do that. But we can also do around a curve, okay? So if we go ahead and select the curve that we want right here, I have the number of turns at 3. And up here is where we're making the snake go to. So there's that part of it, but we actually want to bypass this. So let's make this a little easier so we don't have to do as much tweaking to the helical curve. So what I'm going to do is make a straight line that comes right out of this midpoint like so. And this is going to be kind of a blend target idea. And then in the looking down, I'm going to use the arc direction tool, and I'm going to come out over here somewhere, kind of like so. And I'm going to make an arc like this. And let's move that around. And then I'm going to blend from the end of this one to the end of this curve like so. And that just gives me a nice shape for my snake. So I will take this, this, and join them. And then I'll do curve from 2 views. So here's curve from 2 views. And we'll pick this curve, and up they go. And that's where my snake starts to branch off. So I'll click on this curve from 2 view result and say split. And I'll click this curve, and that splits that in half. So there we go. And then this curve here I'll split also with this curve. And this and this become one, join. And we'll put that on the green layer. So there's my curve that I'm going to be working with. Okay, now let's go back and do helix around a curve again. So around curve, select the curve right there. And I'll come over here. Let's turn off snaps because it's going insane. And I'm going to make a, what I'm kind of imagining is I'm going to have a pipe around this, so I don't want to go right to the finger rail, or it'll go into the finger hole, which maybe is what you want, but I'm going to hold back from that just a little bit and have it go kind of like so. Now, if I make my circle go down this way, I get one result, and if I make it go up this way, I get another result. So you can kind of just play with this and see where you want the curve to go. I'm going to click right there. So right here on red, that's the path that I want the snake to take. And we have to decide, because now, actually I may want to redo that, because the head is kind of going to be pointing down, so you have to decide. We can always just move it too, for that matter. We could turn on edit points and move it. Now, speaking of edit points, which I'm going to do next, there's way too many for me to move this. I'll have to move them all together quite a bit, and I really don't want to do that. So I'm going to click on this and go to rebuild, and let's hit preview. And what I want to do is I want to rebuild this, and the green one shows the deviation from the old one to the new one. And I want to use as few points as possible without changing it too much. So you kind of walk this down. Now there it's starting to change quite a bit. I'm actually going to go back to 13. That was actually pretty good, so I'll hit OK. So there's the rebuild, and it just relaxes the curve and gives me a fewer number of points. Now when I turn on the edit control points, I have far fewer to move. So I can certainly take these points and move these up and change the direction that this curve is taking. And I can mess with that. The other thing that I want to do at this point is let's go ahead and sweep the ring. So let's go ahead and go surface sweep 1. Here's the rail, here's the profiles, and let's sweep this so we get a good idea of what we're up against here. So let's put that on this layer. And so here's my snake kind of snaking around this thing. And what I want to do next is move these points such that it works out that it stays on the ring. So I'll turn on the control points again, and we'll just start moving these things to where we want them. So here we go. So there's where the let's see, is this the last one? Yeah, so we'll go ahead and move this over. So there I'm changing it so the tail's coming right in at the bottom. And oh, okay, so now this one, let's move this up. And I'm just kind of looking at the surface, and I want this to really kind of follow the surface of the ring. Okay, and then we'll pick this one and have it come over. There we go. This one I want to come in a little. Alright. This one over a little more. Alright, that looks pretty good there. This one, let's come over this way. Alright. And then this one we'll have come up and over. Have that kind of follow the ring more that way. There we go. Okay, so now I'll hit escape and get rid of those, and then on this we'll go ahead and go to solid and go to pipe. Okay, and at the top I'm going to enter in like 1.35 and hit enter, and then at the bottom I'm going to go ahead and do like 0.35, and that'll taper this thing down. And there it is. Now you can move these around and have it so that it appears as though it's going more around the ring You know, like maybe you want this to come over here like it's going behind the ring. And that'd be totally fine. And we can move this down so it looks like it goes in behind it again and comes out. All depends on whatever you want. Let's see. Now we'll go ahead and I'm going to click on this and hit explode. And I'm going to get rid of this end cap and this end cap right there. And now I have just a surface. This is just a single surface. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put this in a job bag right over that one. There we go. I guess we'll change layers here. Okay, next we want to go ahead and put a skin on this thing, a snake skin. So let's go ahead and click on the snake and go to curve and create UV curves. There it is. So there's the layout for what the snake is. Okay, next we're going to go to Matrix Art. Okay, so like I said, we'll head over to Matrix Art. I had to stop the movie there and fix up a bitmap. Let's go to Matrix Art, and I'll drag it over here into the window. Okay, so here we go. We'll go over to Layer. We'll throw that in here. And let's see. Resolution is 20. That's fine. I have straight line picked, and I need to make sure that my height is 0.04, which is basically flat. So I have just a flat surface. And then I'm going to go over to Picture and go to Load Bitmap. And I have some snake skin, and Merv here at GemVision did these couple snake skins which were real cool, and I took one and kind of blurred it and made it a single cell, so it's just one cell repeatable. So I went ahead and did that. Let's see how that works, because I haven't even tested it yet, but let's say open, and so there's just one snake skin cell. And so immediately we're going to come over here to Tile Bitmap, like so. And there you can see it goes ahead and repeats just fine. And then we'll take this and actually bring it down quite a bit. And well, I don't know how thick to make that. I guess 0.3. And then let's go ahead and look in this viewport and see which way. Yeah, it's being raised up that way, which is just fine. And then we'll go ahead and with Maintain Aspect on and Tile on, now we can go in and say, well, here's how much I want this to do. How many scales do we really want? I guess something like that'll be cool. And we'll go ahead and I have Cap turn off, and I hit Create Mesh, and it creates the mesh. And we'll put this back on this layer, and there's the snake skin. There's a good chance this is going to go on backwards, at least it did before. And so let's go ahead and select this and go to Utilities, and our new tool we all love is Apply Mesh UVN, and we pick that, and of course it goes inside, so we say undo. And I'll tell you, in other movies I've stated that you can certainly mess around with the direction normals and such, but I prefer to just come in here to mirror and say no, and then snap to mid. With ortho on, I go ahead and mirror that. Oh, and he does a horrible job. I guess I let off shift a little too early there. Copy equals no. There we go. And we'll come out and try that one more time. Okay, I'm holding down shift. There we go. Okay, so now we'll select this, go to Utilities, There we go. And my little scales are going the wrong way. You know, he looks kind of dragony. I think this is maybe a little too much. But you know, I guess there's a fine line as to what we can get by with. So let's go ahead and try this again. Let's go back to Matrix Art. Drag this over here. Take this box, put it back in here. We got to go ahead and tweak this a little bit right there. And then come over, load bitmap, snakeskin single, open, there we go, tile bitmap. Whoa. I actually want that perhaps a little smaller. Let's do that. Oh, I like that better. And I have it rotate. Let's see if that goes on the right way. And we'll go ahead and hit create mesh. Okay, so I went ahead and redid that with the new settings, and let's go ahead and mirror this thing with copy equals no. Snap to the midpoint. Here we go again. So this is pretty much the same thing. There it is, and I think I have to go ahead and rotate this 180. So we'll go ahead and do that. So the scales point the right direction. Then we go apply mesh UVN up onto that surface. And I guess I like that better. That's kind of fun. So this is a little, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the gray layer and turn that off. So this, I don't know, I guess we'll have to work on the snakeskin thing. He still looks a little dragony, a little too scaly, but you know, I suppose if you grow or mill this and then polish it, definitely needs some you know, some definition of this, or it's just going to go away. So there it is so far. Next, I'm going to make the head for this object. Okay, so now we're going to, like I said, now we're going to go ahead and make the head, and I went and, of course, practiced this, so here we go. Now, if you recall, when we made the pipe, I used 1.35 at the top and 0.35 at the bottom. So knowing that, and those were for radiuses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to circle, and I'm going to go to F4, and I'm going to type in 1.35 and hit enter, and there's my circle. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and turn off the snake dude here. And so next I'm going to go ahead and use arc direction, and I'm going to snap here, and I'm going to kind of aim it over here toward the front, and I'm going to make an arc that looks about like so. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and mirror that, and then I'm going to use blend, and I'm going to blend across here like so. Now I want this to be a little more pointy, so I'm going to delete that and delete this. So I had to start somewhere. I'm going to turn on the edit points and make it come out a little bit like this. Okay, so now let's go ahead and mirror that again. And this, oh man, my shift button is acting wacky today. There we go, and we blend. Okay, that'll do. And if we want this thing to be even pointer, we can go to scale 1D and scale from here out, however we want that to look. Then I'm going to go ahead, and I know down the road how I want to make this, so I'm going to go to split with the point, and I'm going to split this right in the middle. And actually, let's just get rid of this and hit join. And we'll hit mirror, and I want this to be split right down the middle like so. Okay, then we're going to come over into the side view, And we're going to make an arc direction from the quad point here, and we're going to come over here toward the top and go like so. And then let's come down and do this quad point, and this one's going to be a little more flat, like so, because the bottom of the snake is actually kind of flat. Let's go ahead and rotate this down a little bit though. Okay, next, to get this to go, I want to snap to the midpoint, or the end here, and make a line going straight up. And then I'm going to snap to there again and make a line going straight down. And the reason is I'm going to blend from this line to this one, like so. And then I'm going to blend again from here to this line. And that gets that to go up like that. So I delete those, and there's the shape of my snake. And I need to join these up, join, and join this up, join. And then we do, let's switch to a green layer here and go Surface Curve Network. And we just select all this business and hit enter and say OK. And there's the shape that goes through those curves, like so. Now I can tell you to do what we want. I'm going to go ahead and rebuild this. And go ahead and let's see, 11. Let's go ahead and go 22. I'm going to basically double it, 22 and 16, and hit OK. And there, that rebuilds that. And now I'm going to go ahead and start. You know what? That might be a little too much. Let's back that off a little bit. And let's go 16 and 12. Let's try that. That's a little better, I'm hoping. Okay, so now what we can do is turn on our edit points. And to make the snake eye, I'm going to simply go ahead and move this up like so, and move those points up, maybe up a little bit higher. Okay, and then I'm going to take the points right next to that and come over here and move them in. Okay, so we start to get a little bit, that might have been a little too aggressive, but there we go. And then we'll go ahead and take, unfortunately I didn't get this so that I had it right down the middle, but it should be okay. So we'll do something like that. And then on the snake nose, I want to go ahead and pull this up a little bit so his nose is coming up kind of like a vipery thing, you know. And we'll go ahead and move this up a little bit. And again, we'll move this one in. Once again, this is kind of a Clay Tools project, but it's all right. Now the side of we'll have some Clay Tools projects coming up, I'm sure. I'm gonna kind of puff his jaw out a little bit. I'm generally not a huge fan of this kind of modeling, just because a lot of times you don't have the control that you want, but this one's kind of a fun one. Okay, so there's his jaws coming out. And in this viewport, we'll go ahead and grab the bottom. And actually, I just want to grab this part, give or take. I want to move this up. And then grab this part and move it up. This part. So I'm kind of flattening out the bottom of that. Kind of like so. There we go. Just to get his head a little more snake-like, I hope. There we go. Maybe we can grab some of these right in here. Nope, that's not going to be very easy. Let's grab these right here and move those up like so. So that I'm looking for this to go in a little. Oops. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Let's take these up a little, like so. And that'll work. I am going to now draw a plane in the side view viewport, like so, and click on my snake head and say you get split by this plane, enter, and throw that side away. Oops, yeah. Okay, and then we mirror, and let's check him out. Yeah, okay. I don't know if he looks like a frog or a lizard or a snake, but, you know, that'll work. And then I'm going to do a solid, a sphere. I'm going to do his eyeball, kind of like so. And then move this out here. He definitely looks kind of like a gecko. But to make him look a little meaner, I'm going to go ahead and take his eye down a bit and also squish it this way a bit and then rotate it a bit. There we go. Oh, I guess we better move that in a little ways. Let's rotate it this way too. Right. What have I got? What did I click on? No snaps. Rotate this way. Thank you. And let's 1D scale this in this way a little. And to make him look meaner, we'll slant his eye down a little so he looks like he's agitated a little, hopefully. Okay. We'll mirror this to the other side from F4. There's his two eyes. Now we need to put him up on the snake body. And to do that, I'm going to use Orient 3. So let's switch layers here to make sure we're on yellow still. I'm going to draw a polyline from here to here. Okay. And we gotta be careful where we snap here. Is that right down there? Let's turn off. Let's wipe that out and turn off quad and do from end to end. Okay, now I'm sure I'm polar there. And then let's come over here and let's draw another line and see what we get. Yeah, I don't have any snaps for that. Quad to quad. Alright, so here's how Orient 3 works. I'm going to right click on this layer to select only the snake head. Then I'm going to go to Transform Orient 3, and I have 3 reference points to copy from. And I always start center, then I go up to 12 o'clock, and then over to 3 o'clock. Alright, those are the reference points. Let's say copy equals yes. And then we come over here. And 3 o'clock is going to be over here because we got to look at it from the back. So we go middle, up here, and over here. If I go over here, it's going to go on backwards. It's going to face the other way. So there we go. And that's it for that. And I guess we'll just pick, let's turn off yellow. And let's go ahead and pick this and put it on that same layer, and it'll look a little more convincing. Now, if you want the scales to come in here, we'd have to work a little harder and get, that'd just be, I'd do it on the bench. And I'm not a bench jeweler, but there we go. Let's go ahead and let's click on the mesh and hide it for a second. And I'm going to put this on the gray layer and then bring it back. So we'll right click this and go ahead and rotate with copy on from F4. There we go. So there's our opposing snakeheads sitting up on a ring. And that's how I'd make that. Okay.